do the front and the back. Alien art, have some out of this world fun. Name on the spine to make it easy to find. We're going to look at the uncolored book so you can see what's inside this book. D. McDonald's Alien Art 2021, which I added BattleBots from outer space, because that's what they look like to me. The welcome page. Look what's inside the book area, which actually features a blank page at this time. The more popular the book, the more pages they give, by the way, the more clicks there. You can tell it was printed in Coppell, Texas, because their printing machine isn't as good as other places. If you're fussy and picky, you can return it or tell them you want to return it because there's something wrong with the inking, and which is a good thing to do anyway, to point out that I've noticed when printed elsewhere, I don't get that problem, but it's the backside, and that's not all that important or crucial for me, and I don't like having to look at this. Wow, this is the first time I've opened this book. Oh yeah, if this was important, the backside, I would not be happy with that. And it's not me, it is the printing place. See, over here, less. All right. Whoa, over here, not good. Thank goodness this isn't my blank black book. But if you bought the book of blanks, black, then this is not. I would go for, you could just send me another copy. Which is, chances are they'll tell you to keep the first one and see if they can ink it, or get their people over there in Texas to check the roller on their inker. Okay, so we're just looking. I'm going to try to. The front part of this book is grayscale, which means that my original art has been modified to make it colorable. This was not done on a computer. It was done by hand and then photographed and then fed into the computer, and then I play around with the how dark do I want it to be, so that you can still outline this, color it. It colors with crayons and everything else nicely. Single-sided. If you're going to use marker, then put cardstock behind the page. Good idea. So these are strange and unusual aliens that actually are glass bottles. Glass bottle aliens. Really meant to be colored over, even if you just use your black crayons, your gray crayons. And then you will have the experience that I had while creating them with the black and gray crayon. Or make them colorful. It's up to you. It's always up to you. I really kind of wish I would have put in duplicates, because I would have liked to have left them alone, and I would like to play with them. I would like to do them in the black crayon and the gray crayon. I may have to buy myself a second copy. Or if anybody out there is watching this says, hey, Deb, I'll buy you a copy. Some people have my address. Everybody loves a gift, right? Yeah. Because I buy them from Amazon. If I get the reduced price that I get for being the person who creates the book, by the time they add shipping on, I'm like only saving myself $1.50, and then I don't get credit for the sale anywhere. So that's how that one goes. These guys are just crazy. Now we're into the line art. This is what's in the front of the book, but without the gray, which gives you a whole nother coloring experience. Big regret. Should have put this one in 3 times, because I have seen him colored, and I really wish I would have put him in more than just this once. So many things to do with him. You can add more, add backgrounds, add things, add eyebrows, add noses. These guys are noseless, so you can play around with the nose. So as you go through the book, you want to look at, what did she do with the noses? What do I want to do with the noses? Can I add ears? Can I add more stuff coming out of their heads? Yes, you can. You can. This one I like to point out is a mistake. This line should be coming right over that bottle because it's all about being translucent and glass. And I caught that one after my book arrived and went, ooh. So you might have to take out your ink pen and play around too, which I encourage you to do. Wow. Yeah. Technically, if you took a picture of this and sent it to Amazon, you probably will score a second copy because that is supposed to be solid black. So you could end up getting 2 copies for the price of one if it comes from Texas. I'll bet you if you get it from anywhere else, it won't have that on it. But that is a flaw. And my first 2 copies got lost in outer space. One of these copies came back with the date that the lost copies were printed on, and one was on like the 14th. So I knew that somebody else out there has a book date printed on the 9th, and will probably I don't know how your ink's gonna look, but out there those 2 were supposed to be headed to my home, and Amazon couldn't find me, even though they find me constantly for my deliveries. So who knows what was up with that one. An interesting, fun book to color in many different ways. And at the time of this publication, it was my great escape off the planet Earth, because right now, I just don't think the planet Earth is a very good place to be. And so these guys gave me a way to transport myself elsewhere. And that's the reason for the aliens at this time. So we're almost to the end of the book. This is where you can play with the eyeballs and see what happens when you do that. I have another video out there where I do color and play in this book, so please go and check that video out to see what did Debbie do with this. This is all about just looking through the book with its black ink flaw. Yeah. I did not even open this one. I was really working on the other copy. All right, so there you have it. Yep, Coppell, Texas on the 14th. Not a very good ink job there. Now, out of just curiosity, I'm going to go with the book I colored that was printed on. Watch this one. Because this is me. I'm a detective. On the 9th of the month, in the same print shop, the ink was rolling out better. Look at that right away. You can see that this is the way it's supposed to look. So if you do get this book and you get lines for some reason, that would make it returnable, and 90% of the time they just say keep your copy. It costs them more to ship it back. So and you would want to take a picture of the flaw in the inking. And so this is what it looks like colored, but I do have an entire video on me coloring in this book, talking you through it and what you can do with it. It colors so easily with crayon over pencil, no, crayon first pencil, or crayon, pencil and crayon, whatever. This is using I demonstrate this, how I do these placemat backgrounds. So that's in there. And I haven't colored a whole lot this way. I'm kind of working myself through this book systematically, because just as therapeutic as it was to create these guys, I'm finding it very distressing to also color them. Here's where I fix that line. Sometimes a little bit of a line can make a big difference. The mixologist. So this is the line art section. I don't know. We're not going to see one that I colored back here. I really haven't colored much back here. Have I? The guy with the missing eyeball. I did. I started the first page. Right there. So that is the line art colored with my crayons first. And then I'll bump it up with my pencil as I go back and forth and work around. So there you have it. A look inside of D. McDonald's Alien Art 2021, available on Amazon. There'll be a link in the description, so you just click and find it. And I thank you for sharing. I thank you for subscribing. I thank you for your comments. Um, and just to dislike something in my world isn't good enough. Explain why you didn't like something. So I'm gonna push that as well. I'm going to have to move my crayon so I can find end stream. And have a wonderful, wonderful